all this quarterback talk, though, apparently brought the nostalgia out in John Mara. John Mara took a little trip down memory lane in this episode.
Memories.
Nothing but sweet memories. And it went back to 2004, when, of course, the Giants made probably the most historic trade in their franchise's history, when they went ahead and traded for Eli Manning. And, I think John Mara, just by the way he was talking, was kind of on the idea of they might be on the cusp of making a trade. So that's an interesting side note to kind of put in there as well. Like,
it sounded like it.
Like, he thought they might pull off a trade, I think, by the way he was talking. Not saying they were definitely going to, not saying that they thought it was a foregone conclusion, but I definitely think he thought it was a good possibility.
Or hoping.
Yeah. But Mara was saying that, that Eli was a guy that Ernie Accorsi, their former GM, was sold on. And talked about how Eli supporting Cass wasn't exactly the greatest. He talked about how a big factor for them was Eli playing in the SEC, while Ben Roethlisberger there, Big Ben, came from a smaller school. It's interesting because even all these years later, to hear the facts of how that trade kind of went down to a degree was interesting, because the Giants could have stayed there at pick, was it 7, I think we had originally? 4.
Yes.
Was it 4? Pick 4. It was pick 4, actually. Pick 7 is where Big Ben went to with the Steelers. Pick 4 is what we had. So, the Giants could have stood there, though, and taken Big Ben. That's the guy they wanted if they couldn't trade up for Eli, by all accounts. And that obviously what he said in those comments kind of solidified it, because they didn't mention, where Phillip Rivers played, which obviously wasn't a big school either.
It's crazy to think that Big Ben could have been a Giant. That would have been absolutely nuts.
He was close. It would have been a very sad day for all the women in New York City. But he was this close to being a New York Giant if that trade hadn't gone down. And it's just interesting, I said, to see these guys going back and talking about this story of how that went down, because we've talked about with more current stuff. Sometimes you don't learn until years later what went down and caused a trade, or what went down and caused a move to be made, or what the opinion and the thought process was. But it was pretty obvious by the way he was talking. Ernie Accorsi was dead set, no matter what it took, to get Eli Manning in the Giants. I remember that trade when it went down, and a lot of people thought the Giants gave up way too much to get him. Way too much. It seems like basically whatever they had to give up, they were going to give it up, based on the way that talk was. Like, they just had their conviction, and conviction was a word you heard a lot of talk about there. Conviction on the person you're picking. If you're convinced this is that guy, go get that guy.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Enter to win a Daniel Jones signed jersey. Simply subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@2giantgoofballs, and email a screenshot to 2giantgoofballs@mail.com to enter. Only one submission allowed per subscriber. Monthly subscribers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs will get an additional 2 entries. Contest ends when the channel reaches 1,000 subscribers. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. This contest is not affiliated with the NFL, New York Giants, Daniel Jones, or any other person or company besides the 2 Giant Goofball podcast. Good luck to everyone.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.